This week, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention released findings showing a record 72,000 drug overdose deaths in 2017. That's a 13% rise since President Trump declared the opioid crisis a national public health emergency. Opioid addiction affects people from all walks of life, even our greatest athletes. A new documentary, Kissed by God, profiles surfing legend Andy Irons, who died in 2010 after battling both mental illness and opioid addiction. NewsHour Weekend's Megan Thompson recently sat down with Steve Jones, one of the film's directors.
You ever heard of being kissed by God? This is pretty much what it is. For those 10, 3, 2, 1 second, it's like God came down and gave you a kiss, and then you just chase that the whole rest of your life, trying to get that first wave or the first barrel or that first turn.
The documentary, Andy Irons, Kissed by God, tells the story of one of the world's most talented and famous competitive surfers.
Surfing's my life, 100%. I live and breathe surfing.
Grabs his rail, he's still going. Is he coming out? Yeah!
Andy Irons was born and raised in Hawaii. He started surfing when he was just 7 years old. He went professional at 20 and quickly became a star. He gained lucrative sponsorship deals with brands like Billabong.
When you watched him surf, it was so explosive and unpredictable and so totally committed.
Steve Jones co-directed Andy Irons' Kissed by God.
I remember watching Andy and his brother Bruce surf growing up as a kid, and my brothers and I being like, wow, there's look at these guys, there's something different about them, you know, and it was just this brashness and radicalness that I think both of those brothers exuded.
The film chronicles Irons' struggles and triumphs as he traveled the globe to compete. Irons initially came in dead last on his first world tour in 1999, only to make a comeback and win 3 world titles back-to-back.
Andy Irons, your last score, a perfect 10.
Andy's brother Bruce was also a successful and popular surfer. Jones says the Irons brothers didn't grow up rich.
They came from a very simple upbringing. People felt that Andy was a very relatable character, and he was referred to as the people's champ as he started to rise up and realize these successes. So kind of a cool, almost rags to riches story.
But Jones says there was another side of Andy Irons, one rarely seen by the public. As the film reveals, he struggled with bipolar disorder for years. Here he is at home after winning his first world title.
It's just something, I don't know, it's just a lot of thoughts, a lot of just stuff going on, and I just try not to let it get to me, but I'm just only human. It just gets to me sometimes and get overwhelmed, and try not to get overwhelmed, but it's hard.
Like, he can't figure out why he isn't more happy, more elated that he won the world title. He's deeply troubled, and he's talking about, you know, needing something to turn him around and refuel him. I think that was a lot of the behind the scenes that people just never saw with Andy. It wasn't just this elated rise to fame and success and, you know, fortune.
Irons self-medicated with alcohol and drugs, made easier by the lifestyle of partying that surrounded him. He eventually developed an addiction.
You know, when he was smoking weed when he was younger, he'd smoke a lot of weed. And then if it wasn't weed, you know, then drinking, a lot of drinking. You're doing coke, a lot of coke and drinking.
A massive archive of never-before-seen footage and in-depth interviews with friends and family helped tell the story of Irons' incredible highs and debilitating lows, including episodes of paranoia.
He got to the place where we were staying, he got in there, he closed up the curtains. He says, they're out there, they're everywhere, we didn't know who they were.
Doors shut, windows shaped, drapes down, they're following me like out of the movies.
He went off the deep end.
How much did the people around him know what he was dealing with at the time?
You know, a lot of people that we've spoken to weren't necessarily aware of the bipolar disorder or the mental illness. Like, I think the drug thing was pretty prevalent. Andy talked about wanting to come out with his story and go clean and tell the world, like, hey, this is like who I am and this is what I've been struggling with. And, I have been to rehab. There were, some people encouraging him to do that, and some people going, you can't talk about that. Like, you're a well-paid pro athlete, the face of several different brands, and that's a story that we don't want to tell, we're not comfortable telling.
Irons eventually became addicted to opioids and heroin.
The pill run's a hard one to kick, and that's the one that grabbed a hold of my brother, grabbed a hold of a lot of us. It took down a whole bunch of people. That seemed like that was the beginning of the end for that big run that my brother had.
Irons married his wife Lindy in 2007. She described some of her husband's lowest moments and her struggle to keep it all a secret.
And he always told me, don't you dare tell anyone. So it's like kind of go to freaking Foodland and act like everything was fine. And I had like a dying heroin husband like at home. Like it was, yeah. I look back now and I wish I didn't. I was just trying to protect him.
A lot of his friends would go and, literally try to hunt down the people like that were supplying it to Andy. So there were some people who were aggressively really trying to help him and cut it off at the source.
In 2010, with his wife Lindy 8 months pregnant, Irons traveled to Puerto Rico for a competition, but ended up too sick to compete. On his way back, he stopped in Dallas on a layover. He was found dead the next day in his hotel room. He was 32.
When Andy first passed, there was a lot of mystery around what actually happened.
So there was like silence around his death.
There was a lot of silence. I mean, the first thing that came out was that it was dengue fever, which was just totally fabricated.
It turned out that Irons had a heart attack. An autopsy showed he had antidepressants, cocaine, and methadone in his system.
How did you get past that silence that surrounded his death? How did you break through?
Hawaii's an interesting place because there's a lot of pride and aloha and a lot of protectiveness of family and friends and things like that. So we were able to really just take the time and be patient and earn people's trust.
5 years after Irons' death, his brother Bruce and widow Lindy finally agreed to talk.
Now that you're not here, I realize, I'm alone in this world. Everything that you felt, I felt. You were my hero. Growing up, you still are.
I don't even know how to explain it in words, how much I miss you. And I want to tell you that you're amazing and I'm so proud of you, and I just wish I could hug you and hold you and kiss you one last time.
The big thing when we started to sit down and do interviews was just Bruce and Lindy going, people would call them and be like, hey, these guys are coming. What do you want me to say? And Bruce was like, you guys can tell everything. We want it out there. We're telling the true story. Go all in.
It was heartbreaking to see because sometimes he wouldn't be able to handle it. And then you just go, there's an addiction here that's much stronger than, it wasn't an intentional thing. But those pressures were constant for him.
They'd been holding this in for, 7 years. We would hear the rumblings of people being like, hey, have you been in the therapy chair yet?
They call it the therapy chair.
They call it the therapy chair. And, every interview would literally end with the whole crew in tears.
The film will be available on iTunes in September. Jones hopes it will generate a public dialogue about addiction and mental illness.
Even from the time the trailer for the film came out and now with the release of the film, we've had a remarkable number of people, coming to us going, hey, thank you guys so much. Like, my friend checked into rehab after watching that movie, or my brother saw the trailer and he's now in rehab and he's trying to get help. We all have struggles. Like, let's talk about it, man.